Good evening. Rolling tape. My name is Shannon Kringen, and this show is going to be Goddess KRING. It's been a while since I've done a monologue with face paint, and here it is. It's April, the year of 2001, and as I'm recording this, Goddess KRING. You can check out my website, shannonkringen.com. You can write me with questions or comments. P.O. Box 20610, Seattle 98102. You can also email me, goddesskring@hotmail.com, with no spaces between the letters. Just goddesskring@hotmail.com is my email. I check it every day. You can log on to my website and see my online journal, which I write in every single day. Just log on to my website, click on the word journal, and you will find it. If you like to write, I suggest you sign up for a journal. It's free online, and it links you with thousands of other people that have journals online, and we can all share comments with each other and have dialogues. Recently, in my journal, I've posted a lot of photographs I've taken with my new digital camera, and I've also gotten into discussions with people about meat, the meat industry and the dairy industry. I have been a vegetarian off and on since I was 15 years old, and I've decided once again to become a vegetarian. What we do to animals in the world is hideous and disgusting to me, the way we dominate animals and slaughter animals in an assembly line fashion. I don't want to spend the time on my show talking about that, other than to say I wish more people would become vegetarian for their own health and for the health of the animals. I am completely supportive of people eating more soy products and tofu. People that think that you can't be healthy and vegetarian are full of bullshit. You can eat tofu, whole grains, nuts, seeds, grains, avocado. You can get calcium from seafood and from leafy green vegetables, and if you are physically fit and you exercise, that also helps your bones, helps build calcium. Also, if people drink a lot of coffee, it actually depletes your bones of calcium. So if people improved their diets and ate more whole grains, fruits and vegetables, and tofu and soy products, they would probably have healthier bones. I've read a great deal about nutrition, and kitty, kitty, kitty. My cat is meowing. I have to take my cat to the vet tomorrow. He has an abscess and it went away and now it's back. It's a long story. I think he might need antibiotics. Kitty, kitty, kitty. I will be right back. I got this in Tijuana. I visited Tijuana once. I don't know why it's not focusing. It's kind of neat blur. There it goes. It focuses now. Yes, I got this in Tijuana. I love Mexico. I grew up in San Diego, and I love Mexican food, and I love just the Mexican culture. How family-oriented the Mexican culture is, how loving and warm and generous and kind. This evening I went to Northwest Actors Studio and I saw a play, an improvisational play, and I had a chance to go on stage and do some improv with them, but I just was real shy, and I basically just got on stage and I wore this makeup to the play, and it was nice to be on stage, but I don't know, I didn't say a whole lot. God, my nose always itches. Every time I do a show, I have to go like that at least once, don't I? That's okay. What was I going to say? I went to the Northwest Actors Studio this evening, and I got on stage briefly, but the main point is that I was really impressed with the actors. They did a really great job doing comedy and improvisational comedy sketches, and very spontaneous and very sharp and quick and very funny, and I think I might want to get into improvisational theater. I think it would be very good for me. I'm kind of sad that I'm so shy, and I wish that I was more comfortable with other people. Seeing the actors interact with each other was really cool. It reminded me of how I felt in kindergarten. You know, when you're real young, before you've learned to be afraid socially and shut down, I feel like I used to play and I used to do skits with my little friends, like in maybe first grade or second grade. Sometime after second grade, I think I became more shy. So maybe I'll get into theater, improvisational theater. I have a friend, an actor friend, who's also an art model, and he suggested, he got me in free actually to the play tonight, and he's the bartender there, and he's an art model and an actor, and he suggested that I hang out. I might start actually going to get-togethers that he has. He's a vegetarian. He's actually vegan, I think, and I need to circulate more and meet new people. I'm still looking for a boyfriend. I recently broke up with someone who I feel is abusive. He thinks I'm abusive. I think he's abusive. It's a long story. I want him to have his privacy, so I won't say who it is, but it's just this particular person that it's sad because we had really beautiful sex together. We had incredible chemistry, and I have a habit of when I meet someone that I'm sexually attracted to, as many people probably do, I tend to rush into things physically and want to have intercourse with them right away if I feel really comfortable with them. And before I really know someone, sometimes I rush into that, and that's not a good idea, because as soon as I have sex with somebody, if I really like them, I tend to fall in love pretty quickly, and then I feel like I'm emotionally invested in them, and then if I find out we're not compatible, it's very painful. And also I think it kind of screws up your chances of having a good relationship if you rush into things like that. Although I do think if something is really meant, to work out, that you can't really ruin it by having sex too quickly. I'm sure it can kind of screw it up, but I don't think it can ruin it. But that's not to say that you shouldn't rush in. I mean that you. What I mean is, forgive me, I'm a little tired. What I mean to say is that I'm not saying. See, this video I'm doing right now, I'm speaking to you, whoever you are watching. I'm also speaking to myself. This is therapy. This is documenting my life. I think I need to learn patience. When I feel sexually attracted to a man, body, mind, spirit, I need to feel happy about that. And if the feeling is mutual, if both he and I feel sexually attracted, that's great. Now let's try to become friends, and then if it works, let's sleep together after that. So that's what I'm going to try to do the next time I meet someone that I feel a connection with. And I actually have been going on blind dates lately. I put an ad somewhere for dating, and I've just been meeting. I've only met one guy, and I'm going to meet a couple others. And it's a good experience for me socially. I've done ads off and on for the last several years, and I've met lots of interesting people. Nothing has come about relationship-wise with these ads, but I think it's good practice, good experience for me. And I think I'm going to hang out with my actor model friend and his friends and just socialize and meet some other vegetarian, earth-conscious, artistic, creative people that I feel a kinship with. I'm looking for my tribe, basically. I'm not a real social person. This morning I got asked for my autograph, and I was in a really kind of a sad mood, and I was at a bus stop, and this guy said, "Hey, could I have your autograph?" And it kind of made me happy, but then it kind of made me sad, because then I thought, well, I don't know, it's just weird. It's really fun to sign an autograph for somebody that recognizes me from this TV show, but at the same time, I'm happy about it, but I feel like I'm isolated, and I'm lonely, and I'm sad. And when someone asks me for my autograph, I kind of feel like they don't really care about me as a person. It's more they think, ooh, I should get her autograph because it might be worth something someday. You know, like I'm a piece of, like I'm an object. And that's a little bit creepy. But on the other hand, I take it as a compliment. And it's fun. And it's good to know that I express myself and people are aware of me. And that feels good. So I want to focus on the positiveness of that. And I recently saw, today actually, I saw The Diary of Bridget Jones, the film, starring Renee Zellweger and Hugh Grant, and directed by the same people who did Notting Hill and Four Weddings and a Funeral. And I must say that I'm disappointed in the film, The Diary of Bridget Jones. I love Renee Zellweger as an actress, and I think that the story had a lot of potential, but I think that it was so light and fluffy. And I think it was a pretty serious subject matter, and they kind of turned it into something really light and fluffy. And they also said that she gained weight for the role, and to me she still looked pretty thin. And it was nice to see her with more curves, and not be so skinny like all the Hollywood people are. But what's my point? My point is that I'm disappointed in the film. My point is that I'm disappointed in the film. I wanted it to be more serious. It didn't make me, I laughed, but the humor was kind of predictable and kind of corny. And the lighting was good. The lighting was good. The acting was good. I don't know about the script. I thought the editing was pretty good in the beginning. So that's my experience recently with a film that I saw. It didn't really address her writing. Part of the reason why I started writing in a diary was because of Anne Frank, the Diary of Anne Frank. She really inspired me to write my thoughts down, because I've always been kind of an introspective, verbally shy person in my social life, and writing in a journal and also these video diaries, I consider this sort of a form of writing, because I'm home alone in my apartment and I feel safe and secure and like I can open up in a safe environment. So I love writing in diaries, and I have an online journal. Go to my website, shannonkringen.com, and click on the word journal, and it'll take you to my daily Kring, basically, words and pictures. I talk about what's going on in my life. My love life, particularly, is I'm going to keep trying to find someone I can have a long-term relationship with. I want to have a baby someday. I'm 32 right now. Sometime before I'm 40, I would like to have a baby. I would like to be happily married with a baby. But I'm looking for someone who is sort of conventional and sort of not. You know, I don't smoke or drink or do drugs, and but I'm not into mainstream culture. But then again, I love some mainstream music, and I love aspects of Hollywood, but at the same time I'm vegetarian. I don't watch the news. I don't know, I'm sort of in between mainstream and alternative. I'm sort of a hippie, you would say. I don't shave, I don't wear makeup. I'm sort of earthy and natural, and I'm into spirituality and questioning reality and states of consciousness. But I'm conventional in terms of wanting to be monogamous and be married to someone that I'm in love with and have a certain amount of security and stability. You know, I've done this show since 1995. That's 6 years. It's now 2001. That's 6 years. And I have lived in the same apartment for 6 years. Actually 7 years, and I have modeled for art classes to support myself for 8 years. So in some ways I'm pretty stable and strong. But I've had a lot of boyfriends, and I think about suicide sometimes, and I've been in and out of therapy, and I'm a Scorpio, and I think it's natural for me to question whether or not I want to be on this earth. And my photojournalist friend is going back to Las Vegas for a convention, and I wish I could go with him. but he's not real happy with me right now in my work, my photojournalism work, so I'm not going to be going with him this time, but I hope maybe in the future I will travel again to Las Vegas to a convention and do photojournalism. But for now, I'm not. For now, I'm here in Seattle with a new digital camera, and I love to write and I love to take photographs. I'm continuing to grow. I'm continuing to learn. I'm really happy that I saw the play tonight. It was really well done, very funny, and it certainly beats staying home alone and watching television, my friend. Actors are like my favorite people. I just saw a really amazingly cool video on television by Fatboy Slim, I think is the musician, and the song is called Weapon of Choice, and it's not really my kind of music per se, but you know what was cool is Christopher Walken is one of my favorite actors, and he tap dances, kind of like Fred Astaire, you know, that kind of style, and he's very tall and slender, and this Fatboy Slim video called Weapon of Choice is Christopher Walken dressed in like a suit, dancing in this fancy hotel, like a Las Vegas looking, very fancy, humongous, expansive, mirrors everywhere, very upscale. He's just dancing, and he's kind of got this smile on his face, and he's dancing to this hip-hop, I don't know what kind of, Fatboy Slim, I don't know what, it's pop, hip-hop, rap, I don't know what kind of music you classify it, but it's cool because the song, you don't think of Christopher Walken dancing when you hear that song. It's like totally like juxtaposed, unusual. And I saw Christopher Walken on the Actors Studio recently, and he said what he does when he gets a script is he just eliminates all the punctuation. And when he looks at a scene, he does the opposite of what you would think a character would do. Like they're talking about one thing, and then the way they talk, what they're saying and the way they say it is like the opposite. It's just really cool. And that reminded me of the video that I just saw featuring him, Christopher Walken, dancing. And it was just like really, really cool. I love stuff like that. I love actors because they're emotional and vulnerable, and they're not afraid to really show their heart and their soul and their emotions, their humanity. And it really touches me very deeply. And I wish I could be an actor sometimes. But what I'm doing in front of this camera right now is something I can do when I'm alone. But when I'm around other people, I become clammed up usually, and I'm shy Shannon. At least so far in my life, that's what I've done. I realize I have potential to go beyond that and maybe learn to open up. But I'm also, I'm a sensitive person, and maybe it's a gift. You know, I don't necessarily have to become more extroverted unless I want to. I think our culture is a little bit biased against introspective, sensitive people. And there's times when I think I'm quiet and I wish that I could speak. And there's other times where I really feel content being quiet and listening and observing. You know? It's the times when I feel trapped that I think, God, you know, I really should give myself permission to come out and speak. Okay. It feels good to do a monologue and just do a real simple show. Recently also a friend of mine from Canada mailed me a couple bootleg CDs of one of Bob Dylan and one of Neil Young, and they're just beautiful. And one in particular is Bob Dylan singing with Paul Simon, and I've never heard Paul Simon and Bob Dylan sing together before. And it's beautiful. They're singing The Sounds of Silence and Knocking on Heaven's Door. Such beautiful melodies. To me, what's great about music is the melody. And Bob Dylan Bob Dylan to me is extremely beautiful, his voice and his lyrics, and Paul Simon, his beautiful voice, Neil Young, beautiful. I loved seeing recently Bob Dylan win an Oscar for the song Things Have Changed from the soundtrack to the movie The Wonder Boys, great film. And maybe I've already said this on my show, but I'll say it again. Part of his speech, Bob Dylan, he sang the song live via satellite from Australia, and he said, thanks to the Academy for being brave enough to honor a song that does not turn a blind eye to the ills of human nature. And that really touched me. To see an authentic person like Bob Dylan, on national television, Hollywood, big time, glitz and glamour and the whole, white teeth and the whole Hollywood perfection, fantasy land thing. To me, Bob Dylan is what's so cool about Bob Dylan and Neil Young and Tori Amos and Tom Petty and many other musicians that I love, Tom Waits, Lou Reed, many musicians, even Beck sometimes, is that they're very authentic people, but they're commercially successful, and they're part of the mainstream. And what I mean by that is that I just feel like they shine a light. They're on the radar screen. They're sort of the underdogs. They seem more real to me. I was also than some of the fake people. I also felt very touched by Julia Roberts' speech on the Oscars, where she said, "I love it up here, man," and she was telling the guy that was telling her time was up. You're making me nervous. It was just it was touching. It was like a real kind of moment. Something real, not fake. I crave that. I crave something real. And I also realized that I think a lot about famous people, and I spend a lot of time wanting to be famous myself. This morning I was asked for my autograph. I am sort of famous in a very small way, but all that means is that there's people that watch my show. There's people that know about me. There's people that experience my expression. And that feels good. But in some ways I feel so crippled and so alone and I know that I'm powerful, and I think I don't even realize how powerful I am, that I have the power to change and improve my life. Because I have some emotional problems, I have some self-destructive emotional tendencies. Although I don't drink or smoke or do drugs, I tend to beat myself up emotionally. And I think I've had some potential relationships that could have worked out, and they haven't worked out, and I just sometimes wonder how much of it is because of my emotional problems and how much of it is because it just wasn't meant to be with that guy, or the guy was a jerk. I've dated verbally abusive men, and I don't want to be with someone who's abusive towards me. So what was I saying? I don't know. I feel a little sad. I don't have any brothers or sisters, and both my parents, I love them very much, but in my opinion, they're both sort of emotionally, I just feel like my mom and my dad are like my older brother and my older sister, and we're sort of like orphans or something. I don't know. I just don't really feel, they love me very much, both my parents, and they're divorced, but I love them, and I have a stepdad, and I have wonderful people in my family, my mom, my dad, my stepdad. But there's times when I just feel like a lack of support because they have their own problems they're dealing with. They have their own, my mom and stepdad are artists, and they're trying to make it full-time as artists, and that's a challenge, and they have, stresses to deal with. And my dad is heartbroken right now because of something going on in his love life, and I don't, he's a private person. I don't want to talk about that, but let's just say that I feel kind of sad about that myself, that he's in a sad state. My dad's a good guy. He volunteers at a hospital for children on weekends, and he cheers the kids up that are feeling sick. And we're almost out of time. Thank you for watching. My name is Shannon Kringen, and you're watching Goddess KRING. I might go back into therapy. This show is about me sharing. I don't want you to feel sorry for me or worry about me. I am trying to connect with you in a real level, an intimate level. But I mean, I'm okay. I'm a strong person, and I do have my mom and my dad and a therapist that I can call. I do have support. I just sometimes feel very much alone, and I have some friends, and I have ways that I can reach out. I really want to have a love life. I really want to get married and create a family. And that's what I'm working on right now. Improving my life and growing and healing. I really feel wounded by the last experience I had, because I had amazing sexual chemistry with this man, and he was very verbally abusive towards me, in my opinion. He thinks I was abusive towards him. He's entitled to his opinion. But the way I feel is he was very cruel to me, and I feel really misunderstood by him. And I find that very sad, because he's so... When someone is really sexually attractive to me, it's very emotional. I'm a Scorpio. It's not just about sex for me. If I'm really I fall in love with people when I feel that kind of sexual chemistry. It's about affection. It's about feeling connected spiritually. And we had some beautiful conversations where we were crying and sharing from our hearts, and it just didn't work. And I'm sad about that, and I have to heal and recover from that. We're almost out of time. My name is Shannon Kringen. You're watching Goddess KRING. Check out my website. Email me, goddesskring@hotmail.com. Questions, comments are welcome, either email or snail mail. Read my journal online every single day. I write in it, and I post photographs. Please be your real self and express yourself and do what it is that you want to do. Follow your passion, follow your heart, follow your soul. Don't be afraid to be yourself. So thank you for watching. Peace. Namaste. Eat more tofu. Eat less meat, please. Let's love the animals. I don't want to support the slaughter of animals. Ugh. Peace and freedom to you. Good night.